Hi, my name is Lexi and I'll be reading Caps for Sale. I hope you enjoy Caps for Sale. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back.
You can read first, then show a picture.
Okay.
It's okay.
He carried them on the top of his head. First he had his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. That's a lot of caps. He must have really good posture. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money left for lunch. I think I'll go for a walk in the country, said he. And he walked out of town slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. That's a nice place for a rest, he thought he. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb his caps on his head. Then he put his hand to feel if they were straight, first his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. That's a lot of caps. I don't know, maybe they're gonna fall. They were all there. So he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. Before standing up, he felt his hand to make sure his caps were there in the right place. All he felt was his very own checked cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked to the back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? What do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey, and on every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap.
That's an important picture there. It's a lot of monkeys with caps on.
Yeah, some of them are in silly ways if you look closely. Some of them have it over their head, some of them can't see, some of them just they don't have hats on because they're monkeys. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. You monkeys, you, he said, shaking his finger at them. You give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook their fingers at him and said, "Tz-zzz-zzz-zzz." See them shaking their finger at that guy. I wouldn't do that if I were you, monkeys. This made the peddler angry, so he shook both hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you! Give me back my caps!" But the monkeys only shook both hands, their hands at him and said, "Tz-zzz-zzz-zzz." Now he felt quite angry. He stomped his foot and said, "You monkeys, you! You better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stopped their feet back at him and said, "Look at all those silly people. Look at all that silly picture." But this time, the peddler was very, very angry.
Uh-oh.
He stomped both feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you! You must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only snapped both of their feet and back at him and said, At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap and threw it on the ground and began to walk away. Oh, that's the picture. But then each of the monkey pulled off his cap. Oh, show me the picture. Oh, there we go. It looks like they're all copying him. All the gray caps and all the brown caps and all the blue caps and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. It's raining caps. Imagine raining caps. The peddler picked up his own cap and then put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps at the very top. Putting them in the piles by color.
Sorting.
He's sorting by color. And slowly, He walked back to town calling, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. The end. I hope you enjoyed the story. Thank you for watching. Bye.